welcome back to my channel, Double Jackpot. Please subscribe and like if you enjoy the video, and we'll get right into this. Everybody, this is for every coach out there. I don't care if it's NFL, college, high school. I've been watching this for the last 20 plus years. I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna go over this really quick. It's just not from the gambling standpoint. It's just from getting a win. I see this all the time, and it just makes me wonder, how does it happen at every single level? At every single level. Let's recap the last 2.5 minutes of a game. You got the ball, your opponent's down. They either have to score a touchdown or a field goal or anything to either tie or win. Your lead is in jeopardy. So it's not that you can't afford to give up a score. A score either loses or ties the game. So what do? I'm going to give you 3 basic words. Run, run, run. You don't even think about putting the ball in the air unless I'm not even going to say unless. You run and run and run. A timeout to the opponent is worth 40 seconds of clock. If you have an incomplete pass, you just gave them a free timeout. This is so basic. I feel stupid giving you guys this. Coaches, I hope you're listening to this. Okay? I'm not trying to talk down to you, but it's just y'all are so inept and so, I don't know. I see it at the high school. I've seen coaches at high school levels and college level every week lose games because of this. Especially, I've seen it 2 times in the NFL. And I understand Tom Brady's a whole different person. I've seen it in other games. It just slips me because we move on so quickly to the next week. But this week I'm referring to Oregon. I could go back to games if I dug deep enough. I can definitely do Aggies versus Kent State. Definitely do that game with Jimbo Fisher. And I understand, guys. I totally understand the play calling comes from upstairs. I totally get all the intricacies of how the game is called and how it's played. But, as a head coach, I've seen a guy that I have a lot of respect for. There's just so many. But let's go to the simple coach, Nick Saban. If he doesn't like something called from upstairs, he'll call a timeout. If he has a timeout, he'll definitely call it, and he'll overrule the play. He'll grab the playbook, and he'll call his own plays. Because there's just this aggravates me. In Oregon, it cost me like a ton of money. That's not why I'm angry. I'm angry because I love watching the game, and I could not believe you're throwing the ball. So when you're throwing the ball and it's incomplete, the clock stops. As long as, the clock running, you give a team, I don't care. Let's go with the Oregon game at the 10-yard line with a minute 33. Let's call it a minute 40. Just round up. With several timeouts, that's like 3 minutes on the clock. So you just got to keep moving the chains, and they did. They made big plays, and then to link run. Do not play prevent defense. You don't have to play 30 yards back. If you get beat, you're going to get beat. You don't have to play 30 yards back. Play up on the ball. Play like you're playing to win the game, and play regular defense. If this strategy worked, teams would open up like this. They would be winging the ball like they do for the last minute and 33 seconds. That's what I'm saying. These coaches make it a lot more complicated than it is. Coaches, run the ball, force your opponents to call the timeout. Force them to call the timeout. Okay? Once the timeouts are used, they're in panic mode. They can't regroup. They can't get a field goal team in quick enough if they don't have a timeout. If they're just looking for a field goal, they are on the clock, meaning it's running. A lot of times they only have 3 downs to get the first down. They can't spike it. If it's a 4th down, they can't spike it, or a 3rd down, they can't spike it. So they're forced to run every single and use every single play. It's a panic mode. You got to get down the field, get the ball going. I understand the clock stops on a 1st down, but it's quickly spotted. So what I'm trying to tell you, people, is when you're watching these games, there's way more to it. Study the games, watch and see how incompetent some of these coaches are. It just irritates me because a minute 33 with timeouts is really about 3 minutes. Okay. Uh, it adds a lot to the game. Let's go in reverse of that logic. If Oregon runs the ball, that opponent has the ball at the 10-yard line. Let's assume everything's the same. We'll give them the 15 or 20. It doesn't matter. But we're going to take 30, 40 seconds off the clock. They got the ball with 50 seconds. Play up on the ball. You can have one safety deep. It's not hard. That's what I'm saying. These coaches are, for what they get paid, I just think it's amazing. It's amazing. It irritates me because I see it every single week. It's not difficult. And good coaches, I'll tell you who I really respect as coaches. I really respect the Rams coach. I really expect the Saints coach, New Orleans Saints. I'll tell you some coaches. I respect Jimbo Fisher because he prepares his team well, even though he doesn't have quarterback play. I respect him. But I'll tell you who I don't respect. Bill O'Brien. Have zero respect for him. Yes, he's on an Alabama team that's just loaded with pros. It's a lot easier to do when you have talent to look good. I've always said that. But there's so many coaches. I'm not gonna offend and name any bad coaches because I could take a handful. Oregon coach is really susceptible to some criticism now. You know, that's all I can say. Yes, came into Oregon. He came into Ohio State and beat Ohio State. It's not the same Ohio State team that we think they are, but he won that game. But it's the simple things. It's the simple things we take for granted. And, like I said, run, run, run. Force your opponent to use all their timeouts. Give them the ball back and let them go down the field without any ability to stop the clock or regroup. Okay, having said that, that's what I'm trying to say. Just watch coaching and the coaches. It doesn't have to be just the last 2 minutes of the game. It can be at the half. It can be in a lot of scenarios, but force your opponent to burn their timeouts. Timeouts are huge. So, guys, enjoy the NFL game. I'm going to give you my free play today. All my plays are free. It's the Baltimore Ravens minus the 1. It's a Raven, not a Crow. Anyway, the Ravens are your free play. And I find one game very interesting that I just got to watch because of the huge point spread. Now it's up to 17.5 Buffalo-Houston. That's a very interesting game. That's a lot of points. Vegas has no respect for Houston, and I can see why. But anyways, I hope if you like the video, you'll subscribe, give it a like, and we'll talk to you on the next one. Enjoy y'all Sunday.